Storm Tracker 6. This is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Our Jackson camera is snow-free at the moment, but we are seeing snow start to move in thanks to that wind. It's coming west and bringing in lake effect snow while also making it feel like it's in the teens. There's the lake effect really starting to blossom across our radar. We'll be looking at that throughout the morning, but also we'll check in on the visibility because this could lead to localized problems for motorists. We'll look at that coming up as 6 News This Morning continues.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News This Morning.
Good morning, Mid-Michigan. It's Friday, January 3rd. I'm Jorma Duran.
And I'm Megan Maselli. Thank you so much for joining us.
6 News is here for you now with this morning's top stories. And we're now at the start of a deep freeze that should linger across mid-Michigan well into next week.
Plus, many of us are waking up to snow after a thin layer collected on the ground overnight.
Forecast models predict anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of new accumulation as a result of that large storm system Katie talked about that's moving this way from the south. Lansing, Jackson, and much of the capital region should be spared from a lot of that white stuff, but we won't escape plummeting temperatures that are making extended exposure outdoors potentially dangerous. That's why area safety officials are warning people to be prepared both at home and while driving.
New details this morning are helping investigators paint a picture of the so-called terrorist who plowed through a crowd in New Orleans before police shot and killed him. The biggest development is that federal authorities now believe the Texas Army veteran acted alone. Surveillance video shows the rented pickup truck the man used to barrel down Bourbon Street on New Year's Day. He hit several people and forced others to scramble to safety. The FBI says 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar drove several blocks at a high speed, killing more than a dozen people and hurting 3 times as many before he was stopped. Investigators say the terror group ISIS influenced Jabbar, who also planted several explosive devices in coolers along Bourbon Street while carrying a remote detonator.
We also have new information coming from Las Vegas, where investigators say the Tesla Cybertruck that blew up and caught fire outside the Trump Hotel there was purposely detonated by a U.S. Army Green Beret who committed suicide inside the vehicle just moments before the blast. The explosion was caught on camera. More than a half dozen people nearby suffered injuries. Police say this was the man responsible, Master Sergeant Matthew Livesberger, who served 19 years with the military, deploying multiple times to Afghanistan, and was awarded the Bronze Star Medal with Valor for heroism under fire. He was on approved leave from Germany at the time of his death. Investigators also confirmed the explosion and the New Orleans terrorism case are unrelated. Both of these incidents are still developing stories, so make sure to stay with WLNS TV for updates on CBS Mornings right after this newscast, starting at 7 a.m.
Police in Northfield Township, which is just north of Ann Arbor, are trying to piece together what led up to a shooting that killed 2 people and hurt another. This morning, they say it's part of an abduction case involving 2 young girls. It happened Wednesday night at a home in Washtenaw County. State police say both girls were found safe and 3 people now are in custody. They say this abduction was targeted. Now, according to WXYZ in Detroit, 48-year-old Jennifer Bernhard and her father, 74-year-old Stevie Ray Smith, were killed. The ABC affiliate also reports that Bernhard's 52-year-old husband continues to fight for his life in the hospital. Meanwhile, we're working to learn more about the suspects and their exact motives. Stay with 6 News as we continue to follow this developing story.
Avian flu continues to ravage chicken flocks across the nation, including here in Michigan, most recently in Jackson County. It's getting so bad in some places, grocery store shelves, usually filled with cartons of eggs, are empty. And that is now creating long lines at one California farm.
We sell about 20,000 eggs a day.
Well, yeah, this California farm owner has car after car of consumers pulling into his property where he raises cage-free chickens. It's one of the few places in the Golden State where the egg supply is plentiful and the bird flu hasn't touched. Michigan agricultural officials haven't signaled the crisis is as bad here, emphasizing the risk of human contact for now remains very low.
There's something falling from the sky right now, and I am not talking about the snow. It's a spectacular view if you're lucky enough to see it. If not, here's a video of a meteor streaking from the top left of your screen to the right. The Quadrantids meteor showers are happening now through January 16th, and they peak today. NASA says it's possible to see as many as 120 in a single hour. The meteors don't have long tails, but the heads look like bright fireballs. Of course, the clouds here in mid-Michigan are making it pretty tough to see them. According to meteorologist Katie Nicolau, you'd have to get on a plane to get up there and see them. And of course, as always, the further away you can get from light pollution, the better.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
You definitely are going to have to get on a plane to see that, and hopefully that plane's going somewhere warm, because we are not going to be seeing any kind of heat here in mid-Michigan. Instead, we have cold temperatures, and that's led to snow. Temps are starting out the morning in the mid to low 20s. Go to the other side of the lake, and that quickly turns purple with temperatures back down in the teens. That's without the wind chill, mind you. Take about 10 degrees off the actual temperature, and that's what it feels like when you step outside. And that's following a little system that's down towards Ohio, now moving towards the East Coast. But because these systems spin counterclockwise, it's wrapping the wind around us, giving us lake effect snow that's going to be heaviest to our west. That's now falling at a pretty decent pace there from Marshall down towards Jackson, Hillsdale, and Coldwater. We even have some snow lingering off towards our northeast, and that's going to be continuing here in scattered pockets throughout the day. So for anyone heading outside, keep that in mind. For the forecast, we have a peregrine falcon. Perry the peregrine falcon. I love seeing all the animals out there in nature, and this one happened to land in my backyard, so it's getting featured for today. We do have a yellow paw and yellow claw for all the pets because of the chance for some snow.
There it is.
And you guys didn't get that reference at all.
I did.
Okay, because I explained it.
I gave you some love. You gave me some love. That's pretty wild. You saw that in your backyard.
Yeah, no, that was pretty cool. That was, my dad looked down, he's like, guys, there's something in the backyard. And we all just like kind of sat there, and even the cats are just like, what is that?
Now, did you have a normal camera, or did you use your phone?
I used my storm chasing camera.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
zoomed right in.
There it is.
It's pretty cool.
All right, well, coming up.
2 bundles of joy arrived in the capital region just